Hi everyone, shall we start? Some of the students messaged me that it's raining and kind of difficulties in terms of joining the class. Right, so we'll get started so I can share the recording with them. Right, so we were talking about the product classification. අපි කොහොමද product එක classify කරන්න කියන එක ගැන අපි කතා කරා. As you all know, product basically divides into two parts. අපි කියන්නේ දැනටමත් කතා කරලා තියෙනවා. Right, in terms of the goods and services. Right, so we have already classified product in terms of goods and services. Right. Api services පැත්ත පොඩ්ඩකට තියමු. Right, for a while we'll keep it the services. So when we come to the goods, we talk about it is something tangible. Yeah, the physical existence එකක් තියෙනවා. Some of the things that we discussed between the goods and service. We told the fact that the goods are identical products, right? So we are take away from the manufacturer, right? Can be stored. So a couple of things that we discussed, right? So then we came to a fact that classification of the goods. අපි මේ පැත්තට ආවට පස්සේ goods වලට in terms of the durability and in terms of the usage, right? If you could remember, so based on the durability criteria and based on the usage that we divided again. Now the durability part is something very easy for you to remember. Durable products and non-durable products. Then අපිට තියෙනවා durable products කියන්න පුළුවන්. And non-durable product. Now for example, the whiteboard I am using, I would say something durable. Right, but the marker pens I'm using, it's not durable. Because I cannot use this marker pen for like good 6 to 12 months. But definitely I can use the whiteboard for a long period of time. Right, so kind of a very easy method based on the durability criteria. Right, so the mobile phone or your smartphone, your tab, laptop that you are using. Right, you are, the study desk chairs, everything comes under this durable criteria. නේද? ගොඩක් කල් පවතින භාණ්ඩ කියලා අපි කියන්නේ. නේද? කල් පවතින භාණ්ඩ කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. නම් මේක කල් නොපවතින භාණ්ඩ. Most of the cases consumer goods නේද? ගොඩක් කල් තියාගන්න බැරි භාණ්ඩ non-durable. Right? Can you use a bottle of shampoo or some bars of soaps for like 1 to 2 years, right? No, you cannot do like that. Correct. So that's something that we discussed. Now coming to today's part, based on the usage, the කොහොමද අපි මේ භාවිතය අනුව products එහෙම නැත්නම් goods about you classify into 4 types. මේ විදිහට usage එක මත 4 types බෙදනවා. නම් එකක් අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන් something like the consumer goods and the industrial goods. And also based on the usage, I would say consumer goods and the industrial goods. Right. So consumer goods are for your final consumer, right? For final consumption. Now, for example, you might purchase some sort of or maybe a mobile phone, right? Or maybe a couple of pens, some stationaries for your usage. Right? So consumer goods. Industry good is something where it is not for the final, for the consumer. Or you might sell it, or most of the cases you will be using as materials. Materials විදිහට use කරන්න පුළුවන්. Same example I got, maybe for a pastry shops purchasing couple of breads, and using the breads they will make sandwich and will sell it. So something like industrial good. ඒත් එකම ගෙදරට මොනාරි breads ටිකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතර ඒක consumer වෙනවා. So remember the fact that so most of the cases the same good, right, can be fall under consumer or industrial good. So that is based on the requirement of the purchaser. මේක මිලදී ගන්න එක්කෙනාගේ requirement එක මත. But most of the cases we case as material and parts, machineries, comes under the industrial goods. Now, for example, let's say that you have an apparel factory, garment factory. So for the garment factory, you are purchasing some sort of sewing machines. The machines keep that gun. So it's not to consumer, right? It's not to consume. So obviously, to produce apparel items or the garment items, so which comes under the industrial goods, right? So this is for the consumer goods, right? Now the consumer goods, again, that you might remember that we are divided into 4 types. Can you remember? So consumer goods in terms of the convenience good, in terms of convenience goods, and in terms of I would say shopping goods, and in terms of specialty goods, and in terms of unsold goods. Unsold goods. Unsold goods. The best way to remember this fact is that you know a couple of examples. Make it examples කීපයක් දැනගත්තා නම් වැඩේ ලේසි කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Some of the examples. මොනවාද මේ convenience goods? So which is something you purchase regularly, right? Or regular purchase කරනවා. මෙන්න මේ දේ. Right? And in terms of price, the price එක ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අඩුයි කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. And you don't put any extra effort to purchase. කිසිම මහන්සියක් ගන්න නැහැ. දැන් ඔයාලට කඩේකට ගිහලා පෑනක් ගන්නවා. Are you gonna Google, what is the best pen to use? ඔයාලට ගිහලා කඩේට ගිහලා newspaper එකක් ගන්න වෙනවා. නේද? ඔයා යාළුවගෙන් call කරලා අහනද නේද? මොකද්ද හොඳම newspaper එක purchase කරන්න? නැත්නම් ඔයා කඩවල් කීටයකට යනවද newspaper එකක් ගන්න? නෑ නේද? So which is something you regular purchase. නේද? ඔයා නිතර මිලදී ගන්නවා. That's more important. And price එක අඩුයි. මොකද price එක අඩු නිසා නිතර මිලදී ගන්න. Right? Now, for example, a refrigerator එකක් වගේ දෙයක් you don't regular purchase, right? අපි හැමතිස්සෙම refrigerator purchase කරන්නේ නැහැ. එක reason එකක් ඒක durable, අනිත් පැත්තෙන් ඒක long term existence එකක් තියෙනවා. For like good 5 to 6 years and even for 10 years we can use. Right? So the best way is that you remember some of the characteristics plus along with the examples. Characteristics කීපයක් ඉගෙනගෙන examples කීපයක් මතක තියාගත්තා නම් easy. Right. හරිනම් මොනවාද convenience goods? Where something you purchase in a regular basis. So one characteristic. And the price, right? So in terms of the price, which is very less price. Compared to rest of the classification, price එක අඩුයි. And you don't put any special effort to purchase. Special effort එකක් ඔයා ගන්නෙත් නැහැ මේක purchase කරන්න. And the availability නේද? හැමතැනම තියෙනවා කියලා කියන්නත් පුළුවන්. දැන් හිතන්න මේ වගේ දෙයක් purchasing a data card, mobile data card එකක්. නේද? මොන කඩෙන් ගත්තත් එකයි නේද? price එකේ වෙනසකුත් නැහැ. Right? Highly available. හැම කඩේකම වගේ සාමාන්‍ය mobile data card එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. The availability is there. And another good characteristic is that profit margin එක හරිම අඩුයි එක product එකකින්. දැන් මේ බලන්න. refrigerator එකක් sell කළොත් අපි කිව්වොත් fridge එකක් කියලා සරලව. නේද? fridge එකක් අපි හිතමු 100,000. fridge එකක profit එක කීයක් විතර ඇතිද? මම හිතුවොත් just 20,000 profit එකක්. හැබැයි data card එකකින් data card එකක් අපි හිතමු 100 rupees. එතකොට data card එකකින් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මම දන්න විදිහට ඒ කඩේට එක්කිනාට තියෙන හරිම අඩු ප්‍රමාණයක්. රුපියලක් හරි දෙකක් හරි 1 rupee or like just 2 rupees. Maximum 5 rupees තියෙයි. නේද? ආයෙනම් දැන් අපි හිතමු තවත් මොනාරි soap bar එකක් නේද? සබන් කැටක් එකක් ගත්තත් 55 rupees. සමහරට කඩේ විකුණන එක්කිනාට just 5 rupees මේ විදිහට. හැබැයි fridge එකක් sell කරොත් නේද? vehicle එකක් sell කරොත් අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් ගොඩක් higher profit margin එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා. And also the price also නේද comparatively වැඩි. නේද data card එකක price එකද වැඩි fridge එකක price එකද. සබන් කැට එක price එකද වැඩි vehicle එකේ price එකද. නා price එකත් අඩුයි අනිත් එක profit margin එක හරිම අඩුයි. අනිත් එක කියන්න පුළුවන් ගොඩක් highly advertised product එකක් මේවා. බලන්න I'm not recommending to watch the television or TV බලනවා නම් TV එකේ වැඩිපුරම ads යන්නේ මොනවද? කවදා හරි TV එකේ ads යනවාද මේ ගොඩක් වෙලාට car එකක් sell කරන්නේ? නේද? මොන හරි luxury car එකක් යන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි වැඩිපුර යන්නේ නැහැ. පොඩ්ඩක් හිතලා බලන්න TV එකේ වැඩිපුරම ad යන්නේ මොකටද කියලා? What do you think? I would say මම නම් දැකලා තියෙනවා මර sunlight ad යනවා නේද? මොනවාද? soap ads යනවානේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන්. shampoo ads යනවා. TV එකේ වැඩිපුර ad යනවා මොන හරි biscuit හරි ඒ වගේ දෙයක්. right? එතකොට very rarely මොන හරි අනිත් products වල advertisement යන්නේ. එහෙනම් high competition එකක් තියෙනවා. So they try to highly advertise this product because why? This is highly available and people do not put much attention, right, to purchase. නේද? අපි කියන්නේ ගියා ගත්තාව වගේ product එකක් නේද? You want some pens to write. නේද? ගියා ගත්තා you don't put much extra effort to purchase that. So there are like so many characteristics, but it's easy that when we have examples with us, so then it's easy to remember. හරි මම හිතන්නේ මම මේක ටියුට් එකේ පෙන්නලා මේක go through කරා if I'm not mistaken. Right. So shopping goods වලට ආවත් you try to compare the fashion, the design, and you might tell your parents to bring some stationeries for you, but there's a less chance that you will be saying bring some clothes for me, and because you want, because එක පැත්තෙන් එහෙම ගේන්නත් බෑ නේද? සමහරට ගේන එකට ඔයා කැමති වෙන්නේ නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයාගේ size එක design එක වෙනස් වෙන්න පුළුවන් නේද? fashion එක something like this, right? So likewise, so you want to compare the products. සමහරවිට නේද අර shopping ගියාම එහෙම ඉස්සෙල්ලා බලලා නේද? I'm not doing that, right? Right, නේද? බලන දෙක සමහර මේම තියලා බලන එකට නේද? මේ දෙකේ මොකද්ද match වෙන්නේ කියලා. Sometimes you fit on, right? Something like that. So you compare the fashion, right? So which suitable for you. So that is something shopping good, I would say. Speciality goods, again I'm telling you, the word itself describes. And the word itself describes that you put some extra effort to purchase speciality good. Right? Something like purchasing a land, purchasing an apartment, and then purchasing a car. එකක් purchase කරනවා ඔබ දෙන්න මට කියලා ගිහලා ගන්නවා එහෙම ගොඩක් වෙලාවට නෑ නේද? you'll be සමහර මොනවාද වාට මොනාරි lottery එකක් වගේ ඒ වගේ ඇදුනොත් නම් මොනාරි super bowl එකක් නේද? එහෙම purchase කරයි, but normally we don't, right? එකපාරට දැක්ක ගමන් මේ land එක කීයද දැන් දෙනවද? එහෙම purchase කරනද පාර යන ගමන් එකපාරට නේද? වාහනේ හරි බස් එකේ යන ගමන් දැකලා මේ land එකක් තියෙන මට දෙන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා එවලෙමත් දීලා එනවනේ ගෙදරෙද්දිලා නෑ නේ? Most of the cases not, right? So you search a lot of things And the legal matters are there. And also the price. And specialty goods the price vary. Something like a jewelry that comes under the specialty goods. Price vary. And you don't purchase regular basis. Hamadama samata shampoo, sabang, biscuit gani, hamadama idam geval wahana ganne na. Right? Samata wahana ganne 5 to 10 years in the land. So you don't purchase regular basis. Right? Kaki reason price vary. Anith it's the long-term existence is there, something like that. Unsold goods. Make it a quarter. Mataka tiyaganna තියෙන්නේ. මේකෙත් කොටස් දෙකක් තියෙනවා. කොටස් දෙකක් කිව්වොත් like two example for unsold goods. මොනවාද මේකේ වෙන්නේ? එකක් තමයි the good is available. Good is available to purchase. Good is available to purchase. But you do not know about that. Can I see? Can I raise your? Can you guys raise your hand for the question that I'm asking? Honestly answer. Do you know that some of the pharmaceutical company has manufactured a pill for COVID-19? The COVID වලට capsule එකක් හදලා කියලා දාන්නේ කවුද මෙතන? You know that අරවා බොන්නේ බෙහෙත් පිරිසාට බෙහෙත් බොනන්නේ දරක් සමාට amoxicillin කියලා කියන්නේ sometime නේද බෙහෙත් කිය normal නේද අපි කියන්නේ pill එකක් කියලා හා හරි කවුද අහලා තින්නේ හා so some of the pharmaceutical I think that's the same company called Pfizer මම හිතනවා ඔයගොල්ලෝනේ Pfizer vaccine එක හදන company ඒගොල්ලෝ pill එකකුත් හදලා තිනවා COVID-19 bone එක approve වෙලා තියෙනවා ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ රටේ but not commercially they produce but they have come up with that so something so it's available in the market to purchase but you do not know about that එතකොට දැන් තමයි වදානේ ඇත්තද එහෙම එකකුත් තියෙනවා something like that so the good is available to purchase or maybe now you can place the orders for that right or maybe the government or the other pharmaceutical companies or hospitals can place the orders. They are accepting the orders, so which means the product is available. But you are not aware about that. Or danne naha em product ekak tiyena kiyala. Right? Something like that. Something like software update, a new movie, a new book has been released. But you are not aware about that, right? A new book, covering your syllabus, a guide to business studies, a new book has been published by let's say a well-known author, right, or a professor. I think you might know some for the economics. You have some books, accounting, right? Some source materials are available. Even business studies already book එකක් හදලා publish කරලා තියෙනවා. But you are not aware about that. So something like a new book, right? A new insurance policy sometime that comes under this unsold goods. අනිත් එක තමයි the good is available and you are aware about that you are well aware about that ඔයා මේ ගැන දන්නවා right you are aware about that but you don't have any intention to purchase you don't have any interest එතකොට කිසිම කැමැත්තක් නැහැ you don't have any interest You don't have any interest to purchase. ඔයාට මතකයිද? අර vaccine එක ආපු මුල් කාලේ නේද? in the parliament what they say. අපිට ඕනේ නෑ ධම්ම vaccine. නේද? එහෙම කියව නේද? අපිට ඕනේ නෑ ධම්ම vaccine. අපිට ඕනෙලාට අපි ගෙන්න ගන්නවා. Something like that. Good is available. You are aware about that, right? You know that there's a vaccine, but you are not interested to purchase it. So something comes under the unsold goods, right? Examples කීපයක් මතක තියාගත්තා නම් හරි. Correct. So that's a summary about this side of it. So the durability that we talk about and explain, usage. And based on the usage, you know that there are two types, consumer and the industrial. මම industrial පැත්තට තාම ආවේ නැත. Right. So what I'll do is, shall I come to the tube? If I'm not mistaken, please correct me. මම මේක tube එකට ඇවිල්ලා explain කරා, but I'll anyway come to that to make sure that we all get this point right. Correct. Shall we do like that? So there's things like you don't see this part. Correct. Let me come to the tube. I think I explained it, but I'm not exactly sure. Let me open that for you. Right. කිස් මට පොඩ්ඩක් raise hand කරන්න තාම tubes එක ලැබුණ නැති කවුරු හරි ඉන්නවද කියලා මට shop එකකින් කිව්වා තාමත් tubes ගියපු නැති එක student කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා කියලා. එයාට අපි already post කරලා තියෙන I think that's is Vishmi here? Vishmi. Apart from Vishmi, මට පොඩ්ඩක් raise hand කරන්න තාම tubes ලැබුණ නැති කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවද? Right. So I hope everyone got it. Right. Shall we come to this part? I think I asked you to complete this part, neither. Hari. Well, so shall we complete this part up to the point that we discussed? අපි දැනට කතා කරපු point එකට විතරක් මේක complete කරගමුද quickly, right? හරිනම් products මොනවාද? මේ පැත්තේ goods and services, right? Shall we quickly do goods and services, right? අපි මුලින්ම discuss කරන්නේ goods point of view, right? හරි එහෙනම් මොනවාද මෙතන? Based on the durability and the usage. Durability and the usage. This is pretty much easy and straightforward. Durability, it's durable and non-durable, right? Non-durable. So based on the usage, consumer goods and industrial goods. So left side you have consumer goods, and the right hand side you have industrial goods. Industrial, ne? අපි කියන කාර්මික භාණ්ඩ කියලා. Industrial goods. And kids, you have to provide me the feedback as well if I'm, mama, if I'm more into, when we come to the explanation, I use more English or, more Sinhala. So you have to provide me that, right? Sometimes, you might find difficult to understand both of the point. And some other students like, ගොඩක් සිංහලෙන් explain කරාම තේරුම් ගන්න අමාරුයි, because from the childhood onwards they have studied from the English medium. සමහරවිට ගොඩක් English වලින් explain කරත් sometimes they find struggle to understand. So let me on that aspect. So I know how to mix it there, right? So the consumer goods and the industrial goods. So we'll keep industrial goods for a while. අපි කීප වෙලාවක් ටිකක් වෙලා so we'll keep it for to discuss. හරි, consumer goods shall we fill it එනවා? හරි, තනියම fill කරගන්න. හරි, මොනවද තියෙන හතර? Shall we take again sharing back to the whiteboard? So you have convenience goods, you have shopping goods, specialty goods, and unsold goods. Unsold goods. Shall we complete those parts? So we'll come to this part later. Industrial goods. Right. So convenience good, shopping goods, specialty goods, and unsold goods. Unsold goods. Right. I hope that part is fine. Shall we come to the first part then? Right. Then one by one, I have provided the explanations, right, to reduce the the writing time. Because in our class, what we do is more explanations, more discussions, and less writing. That is more important, right? So we have the product classification here. The marketers classify products on the basis of the durability, tangibility, and the usage, right? Because based on the tangibility, you divided, say, goods and services. Goods are tangible, right? Services are intangible. And based on the durability, durable and non-durable, and based on the usage, consumer or industrial, that part we discussed. Right. So coming to the non-durable goods, let me highlight a couple of things for you. Non-durable goods are tangible goods normally consumed in one of few uses. It's non-durable, right? It's one of few uses. එකපාරක් හරි කීප පාරක් තමයි ඔයා මේක use කරන්නේ, such as soap and shampoo, right? Soap and shampoo. තමයි එකපාරක් නැත්නම් කීප පාරක් විතරයි. Right? So something like that. Now let's say a plastic bottle, a bottle water, right? You only use one time, right? So something like that. Because these goods are purchased frequently, purchase karna, an appropriate strategy to make them available in many locations. Yes, that's why I said there's a high advertising part is for the non-durable goods. Product make advertise karana heavily. Charge only a small markup. Who profits naha make. You don't find any huge markup. So small markup. What do you mean by a markup? Markup kila kiyanne profit margin එක. Or maybe a new word for you, right? So you can write it. Markup එක කියලා කියන්නේ profit percentage එක, right? Markup means profit percentage. Now for example, let's say this pens, the cost is 100. මේ පෑනට යනවා රුපියල් 100ක් හදන්න, so I only take 5 rupees profit. So the now pen, the market price is 105. So my markup is very small. I cannot keep like 50 rupees. I don't like add 50% markup. So which is 50 rupees. I sell it to 150 rupees. No. You keep a small profit margin. Then a small profit percentage. That's the meaning of it. Right? A small profit percentage. Small profit percentage. And you advertise heavily. You advertise heavily, right? And to build the preference, shall we write a couple of examples under the non-durable, right? Some bars of soap. You should be able to come up with more examples since you know the characteristics. What else? Right? You have like pens, right? Pencils, pencils. Or maybe matchboxes, right? Matchboxes. Right? So those are the set of, when you come to the non-durable goods, non-durable goods. Right? Even let's say a toothpaste, toothbrushes, everything, right? You are not using a toothbrush for more than 1 year, I guess, right? Correct. So this part is okay, right? I'm gonna put a tick for that. So the durable goods are tangible goods that normally survive many users, long-term existence. If you are studying accounting, you might know about some long-term assets. So something like that. So many users, refrigerators, machines, tools, right? So everything comes under this one. Or maybe some clothes, right? Durable. Now, for example, a denim, you are not using for like 1 or 2 times. Denim you might use it, right? For a long period of time, right? So some clothes that we can say, something like, jackets, jerseys, right? So durable, right? Even shoes sometimes, we can use for like, good 1 to 2 years, some shoes, right? Correct. Durable products normally require more personal selling, right? So you need, because personal selling is something that you'll be studying in the future, which is in our grade 13 syllabus under the topic of marketing. Shall I give you a quick example? Now imagine two cases. So there are 2 friends. So they are going to purchase 2 products, right? One is a durable product. Okay, we have Harry. So let's say Tharusha and Anila, right? So Tharusha and Anila. Tharusha and Anila yanawa kadeta, right? To purchase 2 goods. Ekkenek gane durable product එකක් අනිත් එකේ non-durable. So Tharusha yanawa මොකක් purchase කරන්නද? Let's say some bars of soap, right? Which is durable. So Anila goes to purchase a TV, a television, right? TV television, which is a non-durable, right? Sorry, which is durable. Which is durable, and this is non-durable, right? Right. Now let's say what happens there. So he goes to the Singer shop, right? You might go to Singer, Samsung, or SoftLogic, right? So he goes to Singer. So this is durable now. Sorry, this is non-durable. So he goes to the Kiehl's or whatever normal grocery shops, right? Shop එකක් ගන්න Kiehl's එකටම යන්න ඕනේ නැහැ නේ, normal කඩේකින් ගන්න පුළුවන්. More personal selling means that when you are about to purchase the product, so most of the cases, a personal assistant comes and explain about the product. මේ product එක දැන් බලන්න දැන් ඔයා යන සබන් කැටයක් ගන්න. ඒතකොට කවුරු හරි ඔයාගේ ළඟට ඇවිල්ලා මේක ගන්න හොඳයි සර් මැඩම් මේක මෙහෙමයි කියලා ඔයාට ලොකු explanation එකක් කරනවද? නැහැ නේද? right. හැබැයි ඔයා TV එකක් ගන්න කිව්වොත් කවුරු හරි එනවා නේද ළඟට? මේක හොඳයි මේක මේ features තියෙනවා. You can connect to internet. This is a smart TV. You can watch Netflix. You can browse YouTube. Right, so those are the new features, and this is අපි කියන අර ඒකේ TV size එක, ඒකේ color මොනවාරි features, right? So even you can join for Zoom classes using the TV. So they explain a lot about this when you about to purchase a durable product, kind of more personal selling. shoes දෙකක් ගන්න ගියාම ගොඩක් වෙලාට එනවා නේද ළඟට ඇවිල්ලා මේක මෙහෙමයි මේක this is this brand, it's a very good one, this is the most fashionable product, something like that. හැබැයි අපි නේද soap එකක් සබන් මේ එකක් පෑනක් ගන්න ගියාම ඇවිල්ලා ලොකු නේද personal selling එකක් කරනවද? no නේද මට ගණන් ගන්න නැහැ මොනවද ඕනේ එච්චරයි, right? So it's more personal selling, so more explanation. Sales assistants will come to you and will explain about the product, will ask your requirements, something like that, right? So that is what we mean by the more personal selling. Imagine when you are going to about purchase a motor vehicle, අනිවාර්යෙන්ම මේ කවුරු හරි ඇවිල්ලා මේක features මේව තියෙනවා engine capacity, seat capacity, right? So explain a lot about this model එක මොනවාද, right? Fuel efficiency, cameras, reverse cameras. So they will explain a lot of things about you. Highly personalized opportunity for them. So that is about these two. And I remember the fact that for durable products, the more personal selling is there. Correct. I hope you got that point as well. So please make sure you do highlight. Yes, so more personal selling. Remember the example, right? මේ කතාව දැන් explain කරපු කතාව මතක තිබ්බනම් ඔයාට මතක් වෙයි ආපහු මේක කියවද්දි. And come on a higher margin out. The higher margin එක කොහොමද තියනවානේ? I explain about that product. Let's say this television is worth of the TVs, electronic equipments ඔක්කොම ගණන් වැඩි වෙලා තියෙනවා නේද? TV is 180,000. I recently asked the price of a TV, that's why I know. Right, I went to shop and I asked the price. I didn't have any intention to purchase, but I just saw the product and I asked how much is it. It would like a kind of unsold goods, right, for me, right? No intention to purchase, but I just asked. So the sales assistant said 180,000. I will look විස්තරයක් කරන්න ගියා මං කියනවා I'll consider later. So 180,000. එතකොට මේකෙන් profit එක රුපියල් 5යිද TV එකක් විකුණුවොත් රුපියල් 5ක් ලැබෙනවා. Will you agree with me? No නේද TV එකක් විකුණුවොත් සාමාන්‍ය ලොකු profit එකක් ලැබෙනවා. අඩුම තරමේ 10,000 වත් තියනවා ඉතින්. මම නම් හිතනවා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් 40 වත් තිය ඇති කියලා. So that is my expectation. And the 40,000 වත් ඇති profit එක. and TV එකක් විකුණලා රුපියල් 2ක ලාභයක් ගන්න නැහැ නේ. 2 rupees profit no. So higher profit එකක් තියෙනවා. 40,000 profit. But this soap එක නේද කීයද දැන් සබන් එකක් 60 rupees 60 rupees එකෙන් 40 විතර තියෙනවද ලාභයක් ගොඩක් වෙලාට, right? සෙල් කරද්දී හරිම අඩු ප්‍රමාණයක් maybe රුපියල් 10ක් ඇති maximum, something like that, right? එහෙනම් මෙන්න you see the fact that higher profit. දැන් බලන්න in order to earn a 40,000 profit, how many soap bars that you have to sell? හැබැයි මේක TV එකක් විකුණනකොට ඔයාලට 40,000 ලැබෙනවා. හැබැයි right, you receive that නේද? එතකොට 40,000 earn කරන්න සබන් කැට කීයක් විකුණන්න වෙයිද? That is why, so even you have a higher profit, those products we do not purchase regularly. quantity එක අඩුයි නේද? හැම දවසට TV 100ක් යනවාද කාඩ් shop එකක? I don't think 100 TVs per day. But I would say in a food city or a supermarket, 100 soaps is a kind of a possible thing. අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම දවසක සමන් කරන 100කට වඩා වැඩි කියලා මම කියනවා. එහෙනම් so more quantity when it come to the non-durable. Why the price is less and also the time that you can use that product is kind of short, right? Even මෙතන higher profit එකක් තිබුණාට හැමතිස්සෙම TV ගොඩාක් sell වෙන්නේ නැත. නේද? අහලා බලන්න මොනවාරි showroom එකේ දවසට TV 100ක් යන්නේ නැහැ නේ. දවසම එකකුත් නැති වෙයි. right? සමහර මාසෙට 3-4ක්. දැන් vehicle sale එකක car sale එකක නේ දවසට cars 200ක් sell එක කියලා හිතනවාද? No, right? දවසට එකයි සමහර මේවි මාසෙටම 3-4ක්. හැබැයි යාගේ profit එක ඇවිල්ලා ඉවරයි. නේද? එක vehicle එකක් ඉක්ුණ ගාම maybe 1 million. හැබැයි 1 million earn කරන්න සබක් යට කීයක් sell කරන්න වෙයිද? So that's the equation. So I hope but be practical when it comes to business studies. So right? නැත්නම් මේවා ගොඩක් study කරන්න තියෙනවා පාඩම් කරන්න තියෙනවා lot. No, the business studies which is something you see around yourself. Right? So that's why අපි මේ syllabus එකක් කියලා ගන්නකොට this is something you see in your day to day life. Right. Correct. So I hope you're kind of familiar with the explanation. Right. So you know that part. So higher margin is there. So higher margin or the make a higher profit. Right? And more profit. More profit the profit profit. And more seller guarantee. Yes, exactly. අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම අහන්නේ දවස් 8ක් ගන්න ගියාම නම් මේකට guarantee එකක් තියනවා කියලා. නේද? සමන් හරියට ගෑවුනේ නැතුවත් මං එන ආපහු එන්න කියලාද? Right? No. Right? But obviously, for a TV, the 1 year, 2 year motor vehicle, sometimes up to some kilometers, they are giving the guarantee or the warranty. Right? Computer එකක් අවුරුදු 3ක්, mobile phone එකක් අවුරුද්දක්. But for the non-durable, no, right? No guarantee most of the cases. I mean, තවත් හොඳ difference එකක්, right? And if in case in the examination, if they ask, write 2 differences between a durable product and a non-durable. So you should be able to write these along with examples. Examples එක ලස්සනට දෙපැත්තට බෙදලා you should be able to write the differences, right? Because you see, right? Because you identify the examples and a lot of things comes to your mind then when you know the examples. So one thing, no guarantees at all, but here some sort of a seller guarantees are available. එක පැත්තකින් මොකද product එක price එක වැඩි. හැමදාම TVs ගන්න බෑනේ. So you spend a lot of money on that. So definitely you require to have a seller guarantee for that. වගකීමක් අනිවාර්යෙන්ම තියෙන්න ඕනේ. You ask for it obviously. හරි අපි අහන්නේ මේකට warranty කොච්චර හම්බ වෙනවද අවුරුදු කීයක්ද? So definitely we'll be asking about that. Right. So please highlight that as well. Right. So more seller. Shall we write a couple of examples? Right? Refrigerators, televisions, laptop, mobile phone, what else? A motor vehicle, all comes under durable. Shall we write a couple of examples? Furniture and settings, right? Everything. You're not going to purchase sofas every day. You're not going to purchase chairs every week, right? So those are durable. Right. The next part is all about the services. Mama services ගැන වෙනමත් කතා කරනවා, but I'll highlight a couple of things for you which you already knows about. Services. Services are intangible. Yes, you have to agree with me. You cannot, touch those, right? Like you touch a television. අනිවාර්යෙන්ම තට්ටුවක් දාලා නේද ගන්නෙ. vehicle එකක් එහෙම ගද්දි මොනාරි product එකක් ගද්දි නේද? තට්ටුවක් දාලා බලනවා සමහරවිට. So which is the tangibility. But when you go to get a service, can you do like that? No, right? So you might see the tubes I'm providing, that's tangible. The tube එක අල්ලලා මේක කළා බලන්න පුළුවන්. But can you do like that for the service I'm providing? No, right? So this is a service. Education is a service, not a good. So likewise, there are a couple of specific characteristics which I have already explained. So let's highlight those parts and we'll write some more examples as well. And inseparabilities there. I cannot ask one of my friends to conduct today's session, right? Because I feel like, maybe I have another work or let's say a party or something like that. So I cannot ask that because something, inseparable from myself. I should be there to provide you the service. But to sell a product, no, right? No need of. Always another person can be carried out that on behalf of another person. Variable, yes, the way I teach is different from, maybe from your economics class or the accounts class. The variability is there, right? And the perishable products normally require more quality control. Right, shall we write a couple of examples? The haircuts, legal advice, repairs. Shall I provide you some more examples? Shall we write those? Insurance is insurance is a service. Banking is a service. Transportation is a service. The bus එකේ යනවා train එක යනවා. ඔයා train එකක් ගන්න නෙමෙයි. They provide you a service. You are going on a taxi. So they provide you a service. You're not going to purchase a product. Shall we write a couple of examples? So those are the services. So in this class, I'm providing you a service. Not I'm providing a product. Product එක would be right? But mainly service. So let me give you 1 minute for this. While you are writing, you can mark your attendance as well. Let me launch that. Yes, you had to write this summit under this one, right? Services කියලා තියෙන්නේ. Shall I come back? Right? Do you see this place?
example යටතේද ලියන්න ඕනේ.
Sorry, Sehan?
මේ example යටතේද sir ලියන්න.
Yes, exactly. Under the examples. Here you see the examples. So you can write some of the examples under services. As you see right now, this is the place. You see the services. Already I have provided some example. Haircuts, legal advice, appliance repairs, right? You can take it. Examples, insurance, banking, transportation. Even you can add education services. Right. So what about others? All good. Are we clear up to this point? Any questions from your end? Anything that you find difficult, or you have not got the point correctly, or you have some doubts? Please speak to me. Right. So assuming that everything is good up to the moment, shall we come to the consumer goods classification and highlight some of the points, and we'll write more examples. Okay, well, Karusha, you raise your hand. Is that means you have a question, or is that mean that all good? Right, okay. Okay, it's a mistake. Right, fine. Shall we come to the then consumer goods classification? When we classify the vast array of consumer goods on the basis of shopping habits, we distinguish among, yes, those are the four types: convenience goods, shopping goods, specialty goods, and unsold goods. So those are the four types. So kind of a famous question in your examination. හරිම ප්‍රසිද්ධ ප්‍රශ්නයක්. Consumer goods හතර ලියන්න. So classify the consumer goods. Write four types of consumer goods. One of a famous question. Right? Correct. So with that, we are about to discuss one by one. Right. So here we come. First one. Remember the importance of knowing the characteristics. Right? When they ask for the characteristics for each consumer goods, you should be able to provide those. Right. So here we come, consumer goods. Simply, these are goods that are frequently bought by consumers. So this is a point, something that you need to highlight. Frequently bought by the consumers. අපි කියන්නේ නිතර නිතර මිලදී ගන්නවා. Frequently purchase. Frequent purchase is there. The consumer usually purchase convenience goods frequently. That okay, and immediately. අපි කියන්නේ ගියා ගත්තා immediately. You don't spend much time, right? Am I correct? Huh? Are you gonna spend more time when you are purchasing a convenience goods? But obviously, you will be spending some more time when you are shopping, right? When you are purchasing shopping goods, it might take time to you to purchase, right? But here, immediate purchase. You want to go and purchase a Maliban or Manti cream cracker biscuit. Are you gonna go into more than a couple of shops? No, right? It's a very quick purchase. You want to purchase a Milo or a milk packet, something like that. So immediate purchase. So it's one of a good point. And with a minimal effort. So like I said, you do not put extra effort, which means that the minimum effort that you put. Because there's no point, right, for you to purchase a Milo milk packet. So it's a minimum effort. You want to check the nearest place to you in terms of the purchases. Right? The minimum effort is there. Minimum effort. So please highlight the fact of the minimum effort. Here are the examples. I have already included the examples. What are those? Soft drinks, right? You want to purchase a couple of Coca-Cola or Sprite. So it's all same, right? Even you purchase a Coca-Cola or a Sprite in a 5-star hotel, or just from a grocery shop, it's almost the same scenario. Correct? So the soft drinks and soaps, newspapers, please highlight. And we purchase on a regular basis, which means the frequently. So here another important point. These goods are purchased without any planning or search effort. You don't plan to purchase a Milo or දවස් ගානක් නම් plan කරනවා ලබන සතිය නම් මම ලබන මාස එකක් නම් ගිහිල්ලා නේද ice cream එකක් කනවා එහෙම plan කරනවද නෑ නේද දැන් හිතුවත් මේ class එක ඉවරලා ගිහිල්ලා කන්න පුළුවන් හැබැයි මේ to purchase a vehicle you plan, right? Years and years you might plan. To purchase an apartment, to purchase property, real estate, you plan a lot on that. Unless you are lucky enough to win a lottery sometime. Right? You plan a lot on that. Right? You maybe, if you don't have the required financial resources, or you might have to apply for a loan or bank loan sometime, you plan a lot is there, but no special plans for the convenience good. So one of important point. So you don't have those plannings effort, right? Here I come, the second one, you see the shopping goods. Let's check it out. Goods that are bought after comparing the price, like I said. You want to compare the price when you're on shopping. I hope you do that. You guys do that. Shopping compare something like that. Not only the price, you compare the quality as well, the material, the fashion, design, everything. So shall we highlight then? Goods that are bought after comparing the price and the quality of products are known as the shopping good. That's why you say, it takes time, right, to do shopping. Shopping. That is why. You compare a lot of things. The consumer is always concerned about the best purchase, right? You want to make sure that you are getting the best purchase. To make sure that shopping you are kind of a self-satisfaction is there. The best purchase. Right? Make a good latest fashion maker. So kind of a self-satisfaction for you as well. So you end of the day, you're happy. Best purchase. Somewhat you operate make it so you have to make sure that you do the best purchase. So in order to make a best purchase, obviously you have to compare the products. Product seeker. So please make sure you highlight it. Yes, the best purchase. And obviously it takes much time. So to purchase those goods takes time, much time. Right. Shopping goods are those the consumer characteristically compares on such basis the suitability, quality, price, and style. Shall I tell you like this? Now, when you're going to about a yogurt, guys, what product here? Yogurt comes under what product? What classification? Please use the chat box. A yogurt. What do you guys think about the yogurt? Dairy tamai. Manga ahanne ara hatareng mokakda? Me hatareng. A yogurt. Okay, yogurt is a dairy product. I know. Right. I asked out of 4. A yogurt is yes, it's a dairy product. It's a convenience good. Most of the cases. So it's, for the point that I want to highlight is that when you come to shopping goods, it says the suitability. Now, obviously shopping good dekakati. And then shopping kids section, teen section, men's, right? Ladies section, office wears. So you think the suitability. When you purchase yogurts, the yogurts, and it's all about common to everyone, right? yogurts කියලා suitability එකක් ගොඩක් වෙලාට පොඩි ළමයිට මේක සමහර products තියෙනවා නේද සමහර dairy products something like Anchor 1 Plus so basically for that but apart from something like product yogurt it's common to everyone right so it's suitable for everyone to purchase and consume but the shopping goods the suitability is there කෙනෙක්ට අපි කියන්නේ set වෙනවා කියලා නේද කෙනෙක්ට ඒක set වෙනවා set වෙනවා shopping goods always suitability you have to check the suitability before you purchases නේද අපි දැන් සාමාන්‍ය shirt එකක් ගත්තාම මේකේ sizes තියෙනවා collar sizes 15 and a half 16 16 and a half that's something like that එතකොට අන්න the suitability we have to check සමහර අය color එක කැමති නැහැ the cases are there but you have to check that's why it takes much time to purchase it's not the Giya Gatta Ava, right? So Giya Gatta Ava applies to the convenience goods only. Right. So shall we Right, kids, please highlight the suitability, quality, price, style, fashion, design. So whatever the things, right? Price, style, design, fashion, everything. You compare. So these are the examples. Furniture, clothing, and major appliances. Most of the cases, even some of the electronic appliances that you can take most of the cases but the major appliances so furniture clothing obviously a good example for a shopping good right even shoes but when you say clothing shoes would include better but those are like the shopping goods especially clothes furniture and you always think about it shopping goods අර සමහර දිනවනේ shopping festivals shopping fiestas ගොඩක් වෙලාට ඒවල තියෙන shopping goods right shopping goods now තියෙනනේ December වලට ඊට පස්සේ Christmas New Year shopping තියෙන shopping festivals කියලා ගොඩක්ම තියෙන ඒතර shopping goods the shopping festivals තියෙනවා the vehicles we got on motorbikes vehicles නෑ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට නෑ. ඒතර ඒක specialty good එකක් වෙනවා. Right. Shall we move to the third one, specialty goods? If a special attempt is made, the word itself describes the product. Special attempt එකක්, special effort එකක්. Please highlight. If a special attempt or an effort is made to purchase a product, it is known as a specialty good. The consumer gets satisfied only if he consumes these special goods. The prices are much higher compared to convenience goods, compared to shopping goods. Specialty goods for the prices vary. And the shoes, pair of shoes, the vary. Vehicle ekakta pair of shoes the land ekakta වැඩි pair of shoes or pair of earrings what's more expensive right so it's about the higher prices so please make sure you highlight the much higher prices compared to the rest of the products examples can we highlight jewelry obviously jewelry is a special good motor vehicles is a special good. Computers, yes, a special good. Medicine, or maybe with the special medical approval could be a specialty good, right? So not those, paracetamol, the paracetamol and everything, but some sort of medicines with the medical approvals could be a specialty good. right? So put some extra effort to purchase. No, why? Purchase no, you consult a doctor and they provide the approval. That is why. So your special effort and that you purchase, after recommendation of a consultant or a doctor. That's why it becomes a specialty goods, because a special effort is there. You have to go and visit or consult. So then only they provide this medicine. So it's a specialty good. Right. So I'll clear about the set of things under the third one, specialty goods. Specialty goods have a unique characteristics of brand identification for which enough buyers are willing to make a special purchasing effort. Why you are saying a special purchasing effort? Like I previously explained, there's a lot of procedures that you have to make before you purchase a vehicle, before you purchase a land, before you purchase an apartment. So obviously a special attempt to follow. That's why those belongs under the special set of goods, right? අපිට මේ තුනම කවර් කරලා තියෙන්නේ. මම explain කරා but tute එකකට ඇවිල්ලා නැවතත් explain කරා because this is important. මේක ආපහු ඔයාලට lab හම්බ වෙනවා in one grade 13 syllabus as well under the marketing lesson. Right? So it's better that we study at this moment. Right. හරි අපි බලමු answered. You already know about it, but let's check it out with more details. Unsold goods. Goods are known to customer. එක්ක දන්නේ නැහැ නේද? අපි දන්නේ නැහැ ඒ වගේ product එකක් තියනවා කියලා. එහෙම නැත්තම් goods to which much attention of the consumer is not paid. තියනවා දෙන එකක්. එහෙම එකක් තියෙනවා අපි දන්නේ නැහැ. අනිත් එක මම දන්නවා එහෙම එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා. හැබැයි I don't have any intention or an attention or an interest to purchase. Please do highlight. Goods are known to customer. දන්නේ නැති දෙයක්. Or goods which does not attract any kind of attention is not paid. Even though they are available in the market, even though are available උනත් අපිට ඒක එච්චර ගාණක් නැහැ. Unsold goods are those the consumer does not know about දන්නේ නැති වෙන්නත් පුළුවන් or normally does not think of buying. පිටන්නේ buy කරන්න. Unsold goods are require advertising and personal selling effort. Examples: smoke detector එකක්. I'll think of purchasing smoke detector, right? Smoke detector එකක් ගිනි නිවන්න මොනාරි අඳුර ගන්න එකක් කවුරුහරි කිව්වොත් අපිට මොකටද ඕක කියලා හිතනවා නේද? smoke detector එකක්, something like that. මොනාරි අපිටම මොකක්hari sense එකක් කවුරුහරි ඉද්දි light එකක් පත් වෙනවා, right? මොනාරි නැත්නම් alarm එකක් වගේ. එහෙමත් එකක් තියනවා, something we say, right? Not much attention. Right. Shall we highlight those? Life insurance, a new book, cemetery plots, gravestones. No, right? So we don't have the intention to purchase those. Cemetery plots, gravestones. A new movie also you can add sometime. A new movie, new book එකක්, new movie book is there. You can add a new movie.
Sir, මේක highlight කරගන්න ඕනද?
Yes, please. You have to highlight. You don't have to write those. right? So it's better you highlight it because it will capture the things, easily. So those belong to unsold goods.
සර් මේ convenient goods වලයි shopping goods වලයි මොනවද සර් highlight කරන්න ඕනේ?
Convenience good and shopping goods. I think, yes, you can see this. What's in the bold color? Godakman bold color king tina deva. You see, right? Bold color king. Godak varipura kaluwata tina bold color. So those something that you need to make sure that you highlight it right. So I'm gonna give you 1 minute for this part, and then I'll come to the next classification, which is the industrial goods. Right, I hope it's all good. And coming to the industrial goods classification. Right, so as you see, the material and parts, right? So material and parts, most of the cases. Now imagine the Toyota company, right? So they do purchase tires, tubes, or let's say windscreens, but not to consume, right? To fit on those vehicles, or let's say seats. So those comes under material and parts. For a motor vehicle company or a garment factory, they might purchase fabrics, clothing, this one, right? So those comes under the material and parts. For a restaurant, maybe they are purchasing vegetables, things like that. So everything comes under material and parts. Where you see this in the final product, right? Or maybe a furniture company. Imagine the Damro. So Damro is purchasing timber or woods, cushion. So which included in the final product. The material and parts, they'll be required. And the capital items, you need to have a machines, cutting machine, sewing machines, right? Painting machines to do those set of things. Right, so for a education institute, there would be like machines, capital items, building projectors, computers, cameras nowadays you require to have. For a garment factory, like I said, sewing machines, cutting machines, everything comes under the capital items. Capital kila. For a what else? For a bank, or maybe the computers, chairs, everything under capital items. Suppliers and business services. Suppliers could ගොඩක් වෙලාට stationery වගේ items require වෙන්න පුළුවන්. The water bottles, සමහරවිට office එකක තියෙන, you might see supplies, and maybe the repairs and maintenance services that you have to get, right? Cleaning, business consultation. So those comes under this part. Right, now what I want you to do is come to that classification. Now, අපි ලොකු classification එකක් තියෙනවා නේද page එකේ. For you to tell, shall we come back to that point? So let me come to the screen. You see it's in the page number 5, I guess. So shall we fill it? Industrial goods, 3 parts අපි දාගමුද? Right in here. Right. Shall we write them? Right. What are they now? First one, material and parts. And then you have the capital items. And finally, supplies and business services. So those are the things. Supplies and business services. So for more examples and more explanation, we can come to the tube and highlight some of the parts. The basic explanation, I just delivered to you. Now with that, we are almost done with the good side of it. You see, right? Started from the durability, then the usage. The usage again, 2 parts, consumer and industrial. We talk about this set of 4 classification. And now we are in the process of discussing the industrial goods, which I have already provided you an introduction about it. Right. So just take it, so complete the chart under the industrial goods. And then we'll first start with the first part, the first kind of good, which is the material and parts. Right. Industrial goods. අපි තවත් මේකට කියනවා business goods කියලා. අපි ඒකත් දාගමු ආගේ classification එකේ. Industrial goods. අපි තව කියනවා business goods කියලා කියනවා. The goods that are used for producing other goods. Please highlight goods that are used to producing the other goods are known by this. And the goods හදන්න use කරන goods. බලන්න. Right? Now imagine the pen that you are writing. The goods that you use to produce a good. මේ good එක ගත්තොත් මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? ink එකක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන් නේද? clip එකක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. plastic කොටසක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙනම් material parts මොනවද when it come to a pen? Ink, right? Plastic, something like that. So when it come to this shirt, right, or maybe the fabric or the clothing items, buttons, right? So that's for the material and parts. So especially the business goods or the industrial goods. First take materials and parts. So where a good that you produce to use to another good. Since these industrial goods are purchased by businessmen to produce other goods, these are also known as business goods. Remember the fact, industrial goods වලට අපි කියනවා business goods කියලා කියනවා. So here you see the classification. First one, material and parts. Things used as input in the production process are known as materials and parts. Guys, what do you mean by an input? You know, right now, tell me the input when you come to a producer cake. Cake input. I really don't know about that. Can we see the chat box? Who knows about the input when you come to a cake? What do you think? Let's say a shop which is selling cakes, Fab, PNS or whatever the cake shop. Right? What do you think? Input to a cake. As I know, eggs දානවා නේද? Flour තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. What else? ඊට අමතරව මොනවද දාන්නේ? Or maybe if it is chocolate cake, obviously chocolate use කරනවා වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Sugar, okay, sugar, right. Butter, right, very good. Sugar, butter, I forget it. Butter දාන්නේ, sugar, butter, yes. Good, right? එහෙනම් මොනවද sugar, butter මොනවද දෙන්නේ එහෙනම්? Materials and parts as an input. So input for this shirt is the fabrics, buttons comes under collar, comes under the input. So when you come to input of this marker pen, plastic, the clip and the ink comes under the input, right? Yes, I don't think it's much difficult, isn't it? Materials and parts. Yeah, you use as an input. Yes. Right. Good. Shall we highlight it then? Things used as input in the production process are known as materials and parts. What are the examples? Materials related to architectural creations. Imagine for you to build an apartment or a building. Iron, cement, tires, tools, wires. Everything is a material and parts for a vehicle production. For a furniture, that would be wood, right? Or whatever the paintings, right? So all comes under the material and parts. Those are like the input. Next one, capital items. Then දැන් කිව්වනේ කේක් හදන්න butter ඕනේ, sugar ඕනේ, eggs ඕනේ කියලා. දැන් මේ ටික තියාගෙන පුළුවන් ද හදන්න? What else you required? You are required to have some equipment, some tools, some machineries. You need to have an oven, right? Or a mixture sometime to mix those. What else? An oven, a mixture, or maybe some sort of electricity, gas, or something like that, right? To do. So yes, you need to have some long-term existence set of things. And in order to produce motor vehicles, you got to have some machineries out of there to produce this shirt. Apart from the fabric and the buttons, you are required to have the sewing machines. Those comes under the capital items. So to do the production, you got some, man-made things like the machineries, equipments, tools, buildings. Everything comes under the capital item, right? So that is the second part, and that we just discussed. Shall we move to the tune and we see what they are mentioning? Finished goods with long-term existence, which are used for producing other goods, but long-term existence එකක් තියෙනවා. Remember the difference? Material and parts would be used to do the production, but there's no long-term existence. Gain මහන්න කියන රෙදි වල long-term existence එකක් නෑ. ඒක ඉක්මනට මහලා දෙනවනේ. හැබැයි machine එක හැමදාම තියෙනවා නේද අපි ළඟ. Something like that. නේද? වගේන eggs, sugar, butter ඉවර වෙයි ඉක්මනට. We'll be using the same oven for a couple of years. So please do highlight the long-term existence, which are used for producing other goods in the production process, are known as capital items. So you have got the factory building, all the machineries, generators, drills, pressers, grinders, right? All the things, all the computers, everything is a capital items. To do the production, you need to have those set of long-term assets with you. Now we are about to highlight the important parts when it comes to the third, type of the industrial goods, which is the supplies and the business services. Let's check it out, right? Goods and services that are used to produce finished goods, but are relatively short-term existence, known as the supplies and business services. Let's see. Supplies and business services are short-term goods and services that facilitate developing or managing the finished product. Here you see, right? The paint, nails, all the brooms, the lubricants, coal, the writing papers, pencil. Now, for an instance, even though you run a furniture company, furniture manufacturing company, or even you run a garment, you got to have some papers, pencils, right? So those are set of known as the supplies. Then imagine you got to have some stationaries. Stationaries තියෙනවා. මොනාරි ලියන්න පෑනක් නේද? A4s වගේ. හැබැයි ඔයා ඒව ගන්නවද production එකට? ඔයා A4 එකේද parcel කරලා මේ product එක දෙන්නේ? නෑ. Right? ඒක product එකට use කරන්නේත් නෑ. ඒක machine එකකුත් නෙමෙයි. But still you got to have those So those are comes under the supplies. ඒ වගේම cleaning, maintenance මේකත් එන්නේ business services කියන category එකට. Right? So remember that part. So the industrial goods, the final classification. අපිට ඕන වෙයි සමහරට නේද factory hall එක අතු ගන්න පොස්සක් broom එක. ඒතර ඒක capital items උත් නෙමෙයි නේද? ඒක capital දාන්න පුළුවන්ද අපිට? පොස්සක් වගේ දෙයක්. බෑ නේද? ඔයාලට හැමදාම මේ නේද factory floor එක අතු ගන්න වෙයි. නේද? හැබැයි ඒක machinery එකක් නෙමෙයි. Something like that. You got to have maybe some garbage bins. Garbage bin එකක් අපිට පුළුවන් ද මේ machinery එකක් කියලා දාන්න බෑ. හැබැයි ඒකට short term existence එකක් තියෙනවා. නේද? සමහර පොඩි කාලයක් use කරන සාමාන්‍ය course එකක් නේද මාස 6ක් වගේ use කරනවා. machineries දාන්න බෑ අපිට ඒකට. එහෙනම් මේ වගේ දේවල් තමයි අයිති වෙන්නේ supplies and business services. So it's easy that when you know an example, nේද? ඔය example එකක් දානවා නම් it's easy, right? So we highlight those. Business services includes the repair services, window cleaning, copier repair, repair කියන්නේ ගොඩක් ලඩ photocopy machines, printers වගේ නේද අපිට service කරන්න ඕනේ නේද? That is why the copier repair. And also the advisory services, legal, management, consulting, advertising comes under this part. දැන් මෙතන services පොඩ්ඩකුත් අපි include කරනවා. Right? So you don't have to worry about that. So that is as per your syllabus, because you might wonder why the services comes under this. And we are classifying the goods now, but the business services they classify under this part, something like consulting, advertising, management, set of things. The cleaning, repair, maintenance, everything comes under the business services. Right? Correct. So please highlight the examples and get the idea what comes under business services. Right. So with that, I believe, you're more familiar with the set of things that I just discussed, right? Right. Now coming to the classification again, you might see we still got to complete the services part. Right. එහෙනම් මේ බලන්න දැන් ඔයාගේ අර initial classification එකට ආවොත් ඔයා goods පැත්ත ඔක්කොම complete කරලා තියෙන්නේ. Right? So what's pending is the services. Now let's see. You already know the characteristics of the services. Inseparability is there. Their intangibility cannot be stored. It's vary person to person, something like that. So the services part of that, I'm gonna clear this out. So you divide into two. Services, you divide into two. Since we have covered this, I'm gonna remove that part as well. Services, අපි කොටස් දෙකකට බෙදනවා එහෙනම්. What we known as the business support services. And the second one called direct services, business support services, and the direct services. මේ business support services වලට අපි කියන auxiliary services කියලා කියනවා. අපි normally මේකන BSS එහෙම නැත්නම් business support services, auxiliary services, something very supportive to conduct a business, to conduct the trade. You know the trade is all about the buying and selling. To have a smooth trade, to do the business in a smooth manner, you got to have the business support services. What are the examples? Banking, insurance, transportation, warehousing, communication, those are the business support services. Imagine that without having the banking facilities, can you conduct the business smoothly? No, right? Will be find a lot of difficulties. Imagine, right? Without the communication, without having a proper communication, imagine without the facility of email and internet, how you going to do the businesses? Karana pulang, but really difficult. Now, since you have the banking facilities, you can transfer any amount, right? Even to the local businesses or foreign. And imagine what so something like that. So in order to do the businesses, here the set of services are there to back you up, the backup to do the business in a smooth manner. So you have the banking facility, you have the insurance. When there's a risk, so you can insure the transportation to transport your goods, to distribute your goods. So that's going to be really help. And the warehousing, or maybe your materials warehouse, or maybe the finished goods until you sell, until you distribute, you have to store in a place. Or maybe you are doing some imports business, so you import from another country until you sell it. You have to, store that. So the warehousing. So everything comes under the business support services. Hi, the very first day I gave you an explanation about the syllabus. ඇත්තට මේ වගේ syllabus එකේ තියෙන lessons නේද? Banking lesson number 7, insurance lesson number 8. Transportation and logistics lesson number 10, communication lesson number 9. මේ විතර බැලුවොත් අතට මේ ආවේ grade 12 syllabus. ඒ කියන්නේ grade 12 එකදී අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න trade lesson එක අන්තිමට තියෙනවා. අනිත් එක business support services ගැන අපි in detail ඉගෙන ගන්නවා. So I'll come to the direct services later. හරි. දැන් අපි එන්න පුළුවන් the initial classification එකට. Shall we complete business support services and the direct services, and couple of examples right after that. right? Only the examples are needed. The examples keep that දාගන්න පුළුවන් මට. මේ ඔක්කොම ගැන අපි one by one කතා කරන because why? Like I said, these are your lessons in your grade 12 syllabus. Right. දැන් එහෙනම් banking, insurance, transportation ගොඩක් වෙලාවට හැදිලා තියෙන business එකට support කරන්නනේ. Right? මේවට අපි කියනවා අනිත් එක direct services. So business එකක් කරත් නැතත් ඔයාලට මේ services ටික ඕන වෙනවා. මෙන්න examples. Right, where should I write? හරි මම උඩට ගන්නම් examples ටික for direct services. Something like education. Right, and something like health services. Something like legal services. Right? Forces. එහෙම නැත්නම් forces කිව්වොත් මොනවායි security පැත්තෙන් in terms of the national security. Police, army, everything. So those are the direct services. Please write a couple of examples. Examples ලියන්න මම වෙනම තැනක් දාලා නැහැ. මේ classification එකේම ඔයාලට පල්ලෙහා ඉඳ තියෙනවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් එතනම ලියා ගන්න පුළුවන්. So refer to the page number 5, the initial classification. So those are like the direct services. It doesn't not matter, right? Or business එකක් කරාත් නැතත් මේ service ටික ඕනේ. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට business එකක් කරාත් තමයි banking, insurance, may support services ඕන වෙන්නේ to conduct the business in a smooth manner. But irrespective of having a business or not, education, health services, the legal services, the forces, national security, right, would be required to every person. That is why those are comes under the direct services. Right, so with that, that's the end of today's session. Let me come to one by one to you guys. So we'll see how you captured today's part. Right, so who we have with us? Mishka, is that everything clear to you that we discussed today? Yes, sir, it's okay, clear, right? We have Matisha. Matisha. Okay. Right, kids, you can unmute, no doubt with that. Kavishi, anything from your end? Okay, good. Sanit,
තේරුණා සර්.
fine, right, okay. So thank you guys for joining, and with that, we'll see you next week, right? Thanks a lot. Right. See you.